After this recording, it's going to be Roger Cobb.
Yeah.
Roger Cobb, 69.
Corn cobs.
To harp on, to bring up Silverado again, the villain, that's name is Cobb as well.
You say Silverado?
Yeah.
Colin has brought up Silverado 3 times, Mike.
That's a great movie.
We have it on several lists.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Okay.
Well, welcome back to Rabbit Troop Sucks, where we talk about forgotten memories and Silverados and Roger on the cob. Butter them up, put them right on the cob, because that's what you're going to get tonight.
Butter up that muffin.
Yeah.
We're going to continue on with our Halloween special, where we're going to look at 1985's House. And oh my God, the person that recommended it is right next to us. Jeremy, you're here, but we got to introduce all of us. But Jeremy, you're here. So next to me is Mike. Next to Mike is Lamar.
Hello.
Next to Lamar is Collin.
Yep.
And next to Collin, and then next to me is Jeremy. Jeremy, what's up? You're in my house. How you doing?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Good.
Live and in person.
Yeah.
You're louder in person.
How do you feel about this? How's the altitude treating you? How's the flight in?
I gotta be honest, altitude has never really affected me in any of the mountain communities that I've ever been in my life.
Do you think that's because you drink it away?
Yeah, I may just ignore it. I don't know. I was talking to Mike earlier tonight about going skiing for the first time in Keystone, and the guys that I went with up here, they were they had little portable oxygen containers they take with them up the mountains, and I'm like, what are you guys doing with this stuff, man? Yeah, but I mean, I've never really felt any effects of what do you call it again?
Like altitude.
Altitude. Yeah, I've never felt
no
anything
effects here.
related.
Yeah, everything's checking out.
No, this is just the pot root beer talking.
Not the hot root beer.
Yeah, hot root beer.
Wow. So, yeah, clearly the altitude is not affecting you in any way. Maybe it's just your body. You just consume enough beer that your body is filtering it on its own, where it's you see those little drops of water go through the IV. That's you right now. Half your body's water, and then the other half is just putting the beer into fun mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you've hit the nail on the head.
Well, come to Colorado, and that's how you be awesome. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Jeremy, this is awesome that you're here. We're going to be doing this in a Halloween special. To jump right into House, a troubled writer moves into a haunted house after inheriting it from his aunt. And that is the very direct IMDb overview. Jeremy, as always, and as anyone has been recommending movies outside of Mike and myself, my question is, and again, not to sound antagonistic, why this movie? Why did you choose this one?
Maybe a little antagonistic.
Yeah, I have no idea, to be honest with you. I just remember this movie from my youth, watching it and enjoying it, but I've got to be honest with you guys. We just watched this movie, and it is not good. There are very, very funny scenes that take place in this movie, but overall, it's just not good. It isn't.
How old? All right. Thank you for joining Rabbit. How old were you when you watched it?
Oh, God, I don't know. I mean...
I don't know, 38.
No, I was probably 9, 10.
Okay, that's the right mindset to just have the silliness of this movie. I could see a 9-year-old being like, yeah.
I think I found a key to why Jeremy likes this film as an adult still.
Is it the blonde hot ladies in this movie?
And it is Mary Stavin, who is Tanya. And I think we found the link of why Jeremy liked this movie as a youngin' and as someone who is older. That he's like, this movie's always stuck with me, Mary Stavin.
Yeah.
Tanya.
But there's some fun. This is a bonkers movie.
I overall like this movie. I like the metamorphosis of Collin in this movie. Yeah, and I am talking about Collin in this room, where Collin hated this film, but towards the end, Collin developed a little sweet tooth, and it's to a skeleton little monster we like to call Ben. And I understand, and if that's what brought Collin back, even just a little bit, this movie's totally worth it. This movie's crazy. It stars William Katt, who plays Roger Cobb. I'm going to call him Corn on the Cob, probably all throughout this film. He is best known for Greatest American Hero. In a weird memory, I thought Greatest American Hero was maybe a season or two. It went from 81 to 86. Yeah. I was like, oh my God. He was also in Carrie. We have the director, which is Steve Miner. He did Warlock, which I would totally do Warlock. Bonkers films. Warlock, Friday the 13th Part 2, and Halloween H2O, which
What?
was just all over the place. Another star in this movie, George Wendt, as you definitely know from Norm. Yeah, Cheers. 82 to 93. We get some other people that you'll recognize as well. And before we even jump into this, noting what Jeremy's drinking, and before I even got to see Jeremy today, Mike got to hang out with Jeremy, and you guys should talk about where you went, because that was one of our guests from Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, I'm cracking this bad boy.
Yeah, there's gripping and ripping occurring. Yeah, we took a little field trip to Fiction after I picked Jeremy up. Yeah, Ryan wasn't there, unfortunately. Hi, Ryan. But
Hi, Ryan.
We drank a bunch of your beers, and we're drinking them still here.
Yeah, we're never gonna stop drinking.
Yeah,
these beers.
and Jeremy's drinking the pumpkin amber with spices right now.
This is my first sip.
Sweet Sedation of Magic. Yeah, which I really liked. And just thanks again, Ryan, for joining us on Halloween month.
So this is good. Like, a lot of the times I don't like pumpkin beers because the pumpkin is overwhelming. That is not the case with this beer.
No, it's a smooth one.
Yeah. What was the... And we're going to take a break sometime probably in this movie. What was the rice one that you picked up?
I don't remember what it's called.
Nico?
Noko.
Yeah.
Yes, the
that was super good.
Nico, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Nico. Yeah, we tried that, I think, off air with Ryan, and they picked some up today when they went to Fiction. So, yeah, I look forward to having that. That's got some chilies in it. But, yeah, keep drinking Fiction. Thanks again, Ryan.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fiction, for having awesome beers. And thanks for listening. Thanks, Jeremy, for being here. It's Halloween. It is totally Halloween weather. When this episode premieres, I hope all of you feel the same, but it is absolutely kicked into gear. It is colder. It's windy. Leaves are falling.
Leaves changing colors.
House be housing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you didn't know, we are going to talk about Dr. Gregory House and his medical condition. I think that's all you're going to think about this whole time. So,
Spoiler, it was lupus.
it's always lupus. If you're a House fan, you know it's always lupus. The opening of this movie is a bunch of washed out negatives and photos of a house.
And then the cameraman taking a stroll through the grounds.
Right, like it's weird. Here's the thing. I know Jeremy kind of opened with, I don't know why I maybe really like this movie anymore. I overall like this movie, but this movie has some total dead weight. This opening sequence drags the hell on, and everything to do with this book that this dude is writing is just dead weight all over the place. I understand what they're trying to achieve, but how it comes off is, wow, let's turn this into a longer movie for some reason. But then I do overall like it, and then you'll hear from Collin and his love of Skeletor.
There's some very interesting artwork in this movie also.
Oh, on the wall, on the ants walls? I was going to gift that all to you for Christmas. I thought this was... I didn't want to ruin the surprise.
Yeah,
but
that's going up over the fireplace.
Yeah.
In the fireplace.
Yeah. So the opening sequence is we get some dude who you might think is the lead. It's not the lead. It's just some guy delivering groceries.
Grocery boy.
Yeah, from his motor scooter. And then he just happens to walk into this mansion house.
Yeah, this is where the grocery boy becomes a grocery man. When he's, I don't know, he just like goes in the house, drops the groceries off, and then he just goes snooping.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
It's a big house.
He heard a sound.
Did he hear a sound?
Yeah, he's
okay.
like,
Yeah.
Maybe the aunt usually greets him.
It's usually an invitation to just snoop.
Oh, grocery boy.
But
You
Come hither.
that's when he finds
Fluff my oranges.
he doesn't want to fluff those oranges though.
You don't know. You might, but
Maybe that's why he was going up.
She's dead. She hung herself. She's super dead. And he's gone. He leaves.
The only person that leaves the house when something bad goes wrong.
Well, damn right. You know you're not getting a tip now. You have no business there. The tip is gone.
I would have taken the groceries with me.
That's true. They're still in the bag on the table down there.
Just put those right back in your scooter. You got stuff for a week. Those were probably expensive.
Yeah. Well, hard cut to super awesome horror writer Roger Cobb.
To be fair, it was more of a sweet dissolve.
to Cobb. The dissolve to Cobb. He is signing books. He's a notable author. Apparently, everyone loves his books.
Yeah, well,
and
by everyone you mean every fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
The only people at this book signing are absolute lunatics.
They are.
yes. And he highlights his new book, which he's going to write about his time he spent in Vietnam, in the war itself. And his agent quickly pops up with another cut, highlighting no one wants to read about that. And Vietnam is not a thing right now. Again, this movie House is from 1985. The agent is highlighting this is now overplayed, and people want horror books, horror novels, and he should do that.
Did anyone catch what his book was called?
I didn't.
No.
No, I didn't either.
Oh, I thought you
I was really excited.
No, I was
What
excited.
the hell kind of lead up was that?
Usually I lead in when I have it, but I didn't write it down.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is because the book is boring.
What kind of lead up was that, Mike?
I know. Sorry.
It was like the what was the meme I saw? It was Harrison Ford and who plays Adam Driver, and they were doing like a knock knock joke on something, and it was like knock knock, and Adam Driver's like, come on, it was like please enter. And it was just Harrison Ford's face of him looking at him. Are you serious? Like, please, yeah. Well, yeah. So 30 minutes later, no, I'm sorry. The 30 minutes later is not. He's at home, and he then opens his refrigerator, Cobb that is, and he takes a microwavable, I don't know, like turkey
Like
breast.
a Hungry Man kind of deal.
Doesn't take it out of the package,
Yeah,
and
just so
sets
that-
the microwave for 30 minutes. Yeah, again,
a
the
hot meal.
microwave. The microwave he sets for 30 minutes.
It wasn't a very powerful.
Well, maybe he had it on defrost.
Well, I'm pretty sure he just put napalm in something because it's gonna explode. 30 minutes in the. I can't even imagine. Also, again, all in the packaging.
Like, legitimately, would a microwave even stay on for 30 minutes?
Sure.
It would.
Would it?
Why would it stop?
Especially a 1985 one. I
That's
mean,
true.
If mine goes up that high.
Yeah, I know. Maybe he just turned it on. He's like, I'll come back in 2
There's
minutes. And he forgot about
there's
it. It burned
defrost
itself.
modes that I think last like a bunch.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't think that would be in an 85 microwave.
Nah, you're not defrosting a microwave dinner, a TV dinner. I think it was a banquet meal, if I'm
Oh,
not
yeah,
mistaken.
it might have been a banquet. Yeah.
That's like 2 minutes. You
Now-
get 30 minutes for that shit.
We learned somewhere in all this that Roger Cobb, that is, Roger is no longer with his ex-wife.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And we don't really know why, but she calls him, and the best acting of the film is here when Roger is pretending that he's at a hot poker party with his poker buds. And he doesn't have time to talk to Sandy. Oh, Sandy, what's going on? Hey, guys, turn down the music. And he's got the stereo up to volume 10 out of 12. Oh, who do you have over? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, it's Sully.
yeah, I would have talked to Sandy for as long as she would have wanted me to talk to her.
Sandy's like a hot movie star babe. Like, she called from an awards show.
Right.
She didn't win the award, I believe, but
No, that doesn't matter.
She did not win the award of.
We see later in the film. As
Yeah, we
Collin is
see that
noting,
film.
Spoiler: her acting maybe isn't up to snuff.
I'll bet that movie that she was in with the male prostitute was better than this movie.
I'm pretty sure Jeremy would hire her to be in his private film.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely put in a request in for that.
I just have a note that says "bad dream."
There's a lot of those.
Yeah, so throughout this film, you, the audience member, aren't going to really know what's happening. And some of the reason is you don't know if this is a dream, you don't know if this is a flashback, you don't know if this is part of a book synopsis that Cobb is writing, but that might be based on reality, but maybe not. There's a lot of walking around, but there's also a child. Apparently Cobb had a child. That child is missing. I thought that child was dead at some point in time. These gentlemen reminded me as we were watching, no, he's just missing. And no one really knows why, but I guess everyone's really just checked out on that case. This has clearly led to a divorce between Sandy and Roger. But, there might be a happy ending in all this.
Maybe. Well, yeah, when we see the flashback where, like, the kid is kind of drowning in the pool, and Corn Cobb jumps in to save him, but then the kid isn't there. And then when the cops show up, he's like, he was in the pool, I saw him. And the cop's like, all right, buddy.
And you know what dissolves like the cut that Mike talked about? Cobb's glorious locks in that pool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah.
You just got pool hair, friend.
Yeah, forever.
You're nothing without those locks. That's so mean. But you're nothing without those locks.
Yeah.
No.
The flashback was super convoluted. There was like a bit of a scene where the kid like runs out and then like a car drives away, so you think he's like kidnapped.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
I thought he drowned in a pool.
So right
Yeah.
before he drowns in the pool,
Yeah, there's a car.
He's like,
Yeah.
he's like clearly kidnapped. or
That's
something.
never addressed.
Never ever.
Nope.
And then all of a sudden he's in the pool drowning and presumed dead.
Okay, so when so
Yeah, maybe we should talk about this for a minute.
Well, actually, let's talk about the timeline of this. So I'm under the impression the loss of this child has like formed a strain on Cobb's relationship with Standy. So how long has this kid been missing?
We don't know.
Because they're
4 days.
divorced now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying that because like the resolve of this kid later on, are we like, so this kid's been missing for a year? This kid's been missing for like 3 weeks? Because it was 3 weeks. I was like, how did they get divorced so fast?
right.
Yeah.
We've
Who
had
knows?
That's the magic of the house.
It
Yeah.
is.
It had to be long enough that people kind of gave up on it.
Right.
Collin, I should have known from the beginning. The house always wins.
The house does
So
always
does.
win.
when the kid went missing, they were visiting presumably his aunt.
His aunt, yeah.
Okay. Why? This is like a spoiler, but why did
Say it.
why did the kid get abducted from the aunt's house?
Because he was being an ass,
Well-
dude.
Yeah, the kid's a fucking dweeb.
Well, so I think this is the reason.
Okay.
So the aunt's been living in the house forever. She knows it's haunted, and
Right.
she's convinced that the haunted house can't get her because she's not a fucking idiot.
Uh-huh.
Kid's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Kid gets taken.
But like, and you know, we'll get to this later. But the main conceit of this is that the unknown evil that's tormenting poor Corncob is specifically because of him. Like, it is an entity that is targeting him specifically and took his son specifically.
No.
Well,
Let's-
yeah,
well,
the
okay.
house, like the aunt says, knows who you are. Like it knows your fears, your deep personal like regrets, things like that.
Okay.
And so like
Mine are prunes.
everything that you see that's going on in this movie revolves around like the fears that were created in that Vietnam setting, which is the book that he's writing, like a biography instead of a horror novel,
Right.
around his personal experience in Vietnam.
But those are his
No,
fears.
no. I think Mike's asking, how the hell did the house take this kid and when? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, kind of.
I agree. Like,
No, yeah, I don't
Wait,
think it's ever addressed. We don't know. We can
well,
speculate.
I think there was something like he was like the kid happened to be visiting the house, and then he was gone. So like the kid's now gone, and Daddy wasn't there to see what happened. So I think he's been speculating this whole time. Maybe this happened, maybe that happened, but the only person who was there hung herself, and now I don't know shit, and I'm gonna stay into this house until I find it.
Right.
And these are huge stretches that I'm making. Mike, like again, if Mike's question is why and when did this kid get nabbed by a demon, I have no idea.
I guess my question is because it seems like the demon was after Cobby. So why didn't he just take him from?
I think the demon's after whoever is in the house.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
don't think he was after Cobb. It was just like,
but like
little kid, I'm taking that. And the aunt was like, no.
but like the main antagonist is Cobb's enemy.
Well, no. The
It's-
main
it-
antagonist is the house that manifested as
Yeah,
Cobb's enemy.
If
because
you
Cobb is in
if
the
you
house.
walked into the house now, Mike, you would be having problems because the house is attacking
So
you.
why did the aunt kill herself?
Because the kid was captured. Or the kid was kidnapped. The kid's gone.
Well, I think it's even more mysterious than that. I
Okay.
think it's just because the house won.
Right, because that's what she said in her ghost monologue later.
Well, I mean, here's a big guess. She says later, the house tricked me. I never thought he could.
Mm-hmm.
And, it goes after your fear. Her fear then became her godson.
Okay, so when she said the house tricked her, she was referring to her letting the grandson get or nephew.
I mean,
whatever,
that's my guess.
Get
That's
taken.
my guess.
Right. So she's distraught with that. Then
Okay.
she kills herself.
So she did actually kill herself. It wasn't.
Yes.
She didn't get hanged by a.
no,
bitch.
she really kills herself.
Okay, I didn't pick up on that.
And then he inherits the house and doesn't want to leave to find out things.
Sure.
The knot that she used to hang herself with was atrocious.
And then you take some
Oh, yeah.
Vicodin and you yell at Wilson and then you diagnose it.
Yeah.
Credits roll. Boom.
There
It was
you
a
go.
massive attack. Boom.
Perfect.
And that was the end of the movie.
All right, see you guys.
Believe it or
Sure,
not.
we're going to the bars.
That would have been better, actually.
Yeah. We might be hitting up the Vesper tonight, Denver.
Yeah,
we're on
we'll
the
see.
prowl. So we'll see if Jeremy can hang.
If you hear this and you have a time machine, you should come join us.
They're gonna go to the Vesper.
Don't tell them where we're going.
to
There's
the
no
Vesper.
free advertising on Robert Troop Sucks.
We're not going anywhere.
There is only free advertising. No one has ever paid us for anything.
We're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
We're going
Today
to,
is all free.
We're going to Jeremy's hotel room and we are going to tear it the shit right up.
It's got a couch in there.
Jeremy, Collin is gonna F a wall. Mike is gonna throw a safe through a window. Lamar is gonna smoke a corn cob pipe.
Rogers corn cob.
right on your sheets in your bed.
I don't
And
care
he's gonna
what's in it.
He's gonna ash right on top of
I'm
it.
just smoked the pipe.
Lamar, it's filled with cream corn.
You're not getting your deposit back.
It's fine. It's a bubble pipe.
Yeah.
I will not be there. I will be trapped in a black portal in the bathroom that you will eventually.
We'll have to
demand.
rappel down your mirror to get you.
Just pull you out of the pool.
Well, I mean, we jumped a lot, but Cobb is seeing things. My son is in a pool. My son might be driven off. I don't know. And honestly, as an audience member, I had no idea what the hell was going on. I mean, I pieced this together by the end, but in the moment, no clue.
I think the first 20 minutes of this movie, you're watching it and these scenes are just going to pop up and you'll have no clue either. You'll piece it together in the end. That's what this movie is, a puzzle piece.
Yeah, I guess.
Just a rancid old puzzle piece.
Old bag.
Yeah. So the next moment is we get this agent and
Real estate
Yeah,
agent.
real
Yeah.
estate agent. And this is what I asked everyone in this room. This is bizarre. So it seems like at one point in time, Cobb was like, okay, I inherited this house. I'm going to sell it. But he's now seeing things and he doesn't want to sell it. But I don't know why he says this. I don't know why he does not say to the agent, I'm not interested. But instead, we get a little bit of some history and some backstory of the house and the aunt, because the agent is going room to room, checking out the pool, checking out this back weird shed that looks like a murder room.
Yeah, he almost kills corn cob with a spear gun.
Yeah, he picks up just a random harpoon gun, which becomes pivotal throughout the rest of the film for some weird reason. He's talking to him. And I'm like, why are you doing this? Because Cobb's like, you know what? I'm not interested in selling the house. So
Do we know it was maybe it was not a realtor? Maybe it was just like a lawyer who was executing the will.
I mean, there was a for sale sign in front of the house.
yeah,
that's
I
fair,
think he
yeah.
also said something at the end. He was like, oh, you should sell because, you'll make some money.
Because I would like to have this commission.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
I mean, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
I think. And then I have other notes. He's seeing Aunt Elizabeth again. He's seeing a lot of
he
stuff.
has visions. He goes to bed. I think he's sleeping in his son's old room.
Yeah, and like a little
In a wagon.
Oregon Trail fucking bed.
So at his aunt's house, there was a dedicated room for his son.
Yeah, they're like, so why?
Well, there's a lot of rooms in that house. They gotta
Well-
use it for something.
Yeah,
Well,
so he's sleeping in the Oregon Trail wagon bed.
You know what? I'm gonna flip the script a little. Just thinking about this, you know who the real villain is? Aunt Elizabeth.
She is.
What the shit? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
saw the faces she makes in this.
I mean, she clearly knows this is a haunted house. So, like, Mike, your question is like, why is there a dedicated bed to this kid? Okay, that made me think of, why are you letting this kid in? Because your house is haunted as hell. Maybe this isn't a good idea.
Well, to add on to that, if the kid is staying there, we were seeing in the flashbacks, him and his kid are staying at the aunt's house. Where was the room that he was staying in? Did that room not have a?
See,
real
I don't
bed?
think he was staying there. I think he honestly
He just
dropped
his
him
kid
off.
and
Yeah.
fucking bolted.
Well, he's a
That kid
writer.
was kind of a wiener.
Hey, he's a creative type. He needs his space. So
Right.
at all points in time, this movie's all about I'm a writer.
He's got to bang his actress wife, and
As well he should.
and not tend to his fucking wiener kid.
Here's almost like a damnation of like just him saying this, like, I'm a writer. I think most people have like tons of emails, like a lot, like I would say like half of the United States, like a lot of their jobs like involves lots of emails. And for that guy just to be like, for 2 hours I was upstairs writing. I'm like, that's almost anyone's job description of like modern times. Like, so for him to be like, how dare you? I think anyone would be like, dude, I wrote like 5 hours of emails today. like that's cool. Like you're writing your I was still walking in Vietnam story, which we'll get very shortly.
God damn it.
Yes.
But first, we have to change into our deepest V-neck sweater.
I
Oh,
called
boy.
it modern Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, well, this thing goes down to his fucking belly button,
Oh, does it?
and he's not wearing anything under it.
Oh, I think he's wearing,
Chiseled.
or it's wearing him.
Well, he's looking pretty good, yeah. But this is also where we meet Norm.
Oh yeah, he's his biggest fan. He's
Yeah.
got handfuls of his book in his back pocket.
Yeah, that was weird, right?
No, I mean, if I met anyone, I would of course have handfuls of
Yeah.
shreds.
You have. Well, who's your favorite author? Do you have like pages of Neil Gaiman books in your pocket?
When I met Neil Gaiman, I actually just gave him a gift.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I made you a mix CD, and I asked him if he would take a photo with me, and I have that photo in the other room, and he said yes.
All right.
Did, he listen
Did
to
you
the
really
mix?
make him a mix CD?
Yeah,
Okay.
I for that Christmas,
Did you know you were going to meet this man?
I told him,
Okay.
I was like,
He just carries the CD.
So I think this is the Neil. Like if I ever run into this son of a bitch, he's getting
no,
this CD.
No, he was at the old tattered cover in Cherry Creek, and I mean, so that's ages past, and his popularity is clearly not as skyrocketed as it is now. I've always been a huge Sandman fan. Is one of like a very the Sandman when he wrote it. It was like a very
He might be more popular now than he was back then because the
Oh, yeah.
Sandman just came out on.
like the Sandman kind of like shaped my life in a little bit, just because I was like very young reading it. My mom actually had to buy some of the copies because I wasn't old enough to buy it. So that's why I went to see him, and it was that holiday season. I said I was giving some of my friends copies of his book Neverwhere. It was his first solo novel. And I said I gave my friends a couple copies of the book, and I made them mix CDs of songs that I thought would go with it. And he was like, that's super cool. And he took a photo with me. The last time I saw Neil Gaiman, he was speaking at the Paramount downtown. It was really cool. My wife and I went.
That's cool.
But I did not pull out scraps of paper and was like, sign this.
So I kind of interpret this as he had read some like paperback
Totally.
version so much that it just basically dissolved.
And he keeps it in his pants.
Well, I got the impression is he clearly meant to run into him. He's been having this book in his back pocket, and it was like, oh my God, it's you, but
Right.
I really know it's you. And again, Mike and I are making huge stretches on this, and Collin too, that
Yeah.
like, if you see this, it makes no sense.
Right.
He was outside pruning that plant for like 3 days.
I
waiting
told you
for it to
prunes are
come
my
outside.
fear. How many times? You say prunes 3 times, like Candyman.
For how much hedging goes on in this movie, no one has ever seen a bush before.
Yeah, I'm surprised the hedges aren't like well maintained.
Collin, is that a metaphor?
Yeah.
No, it's literal.
Yeah, and Norm invites him to dinner that night, but Corn Cob doesn't want anything to do with Roger.
He's too
Not his-
creepy.
is that his name? Roger?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Fucking, I don't
It's
know. Norm.
Roger.
Norm, yeah, it's Norm.
When someone invites you over for a mouth dinner, I don't know if you really want to attend.
Oh,
Is that what he said?
you know, Harold. if you want Norm's real name, it's Harold in this movie.
It is
Harold, okay.
But we're gonna call him Norm from now on.
We are,
I mean,
yeah.
I even have Harold, parentheses, George Wendt.
parentheses Norm.
He's in for it. So this is going to be another cut. I had no idea what was going on. It is, you think a Vietnam flashback, but it is, I am just going to clarify from the get-go. Every time we get this, what I thought was a Vietnam flashback, this is a scene from the book. Because you'll see Vietnam, quote-unquote, flashback book scene, But then Cobb always snaps out of it like it was a dream. I was thinking about this, which is kind of annoying. This is although I said I like this movie, I said early on these scenes are just the worst. This is dead weight. Mainly what happens is you learn that this guy Ben, who's played by Richard Moll from Night Court, is a buddy in Vietnam. And through a series of flashbacks that you only learn up until the end, all of the flashbacks are them just walking around.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
and
soldier.
they take forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Hey, soldier, get in line. What are you doing? I'm a grunt. I'm going to have a cigarette. Oh, things are happening. We're doing nothing. Then sometimes it's just honest to God. I stopped taking notes in some of these scenes. 4 to 5 minutes of people just walking in the jungle. Like, do you hear something? I don't. You gotta hang tough. Gonna get you, sucker. That was, Richard Moll, Ben's line. Yikes. Yeah, these scenes suck.
Well, okay. So I think really all these scenes were doing was setting up that Big Ben was kind of like I'm like the big brawny jokester. I'm just here to fucking kill the Viet Cong kind of character. And it just took way too fucking long to establish something that could have been done in 30 seconds.
Oh my God, totally. Or more. Or they could have really just
yeah, they could have built some characters.
yes, shown him go over the top, or this is his anger. This is why this guy turned into a demon and is haunting him through a house. I have no idea. And clearly it's not even this guy. I don't know.
Well, I thought that this would have made more sense if the hauntings and experiences that happened after, throughout the rest of this movie, related back to something that happened to him in these Vietnam flashbacks, or his memories of Vietnam. I mean, but they don't.
Well,
nothing does.
Well, it eventually highlights there is one thing that happens in Vietnam. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's Richard Moll gets shot, and it is assumed that he might be able to still get help for him. So Cobb runs off to get help. He does not abandon him. He tries to get help because he just can't. This guy's a big hulking guy. He cannot move him on his own. And what happens is Ben is captured and tortured to death. And Cobb does not know this, or maybe finds out. I don't know. But legitimately tried to help him and is haunted by this. And I think anyone would be to an extent, and anyone would say you did the best you could, you tried, whatever it is. But I also don't think it's him. It's not really this evil spirit. It's just the house manifesting this, and Richard Moll died, unfortunately. And this is character Ben. The house is doing weird shit. I don't know. The house.
Yeah, house does what it does.
Yeah, house doing house stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bob Vila would not like this house.
No. So this is one of my favorite scenes. The house is now getting aggravated, and Cobb is I'm going to go find this out, and goes to Aunt Elizabeth's room, is about to open a closet door, and for some reason doesn't. Then he goes and brushes his teeth, and then is screw it, I'm going to go back, and opens the door, and this crazy-ass alien pops out. Mm-hmm. This big, foamy, weird alien just grabs onto him, apparently claws open parts of his chest, which I'm unaware of until later. But the alien pops out. So the next scene is, I write, Cobb buys $1 million worth of recording equipment.
He bought a terrible amount of surveillance equipment.
So the implication here is bonkers for me. So he opens the closet door, an alien monster attacks him and claws his chest up, rips up his sweet bathrobe, and we see him the next morning unloading the cameras. So what we're to infer here is that he was attacked by a monster in a closet. He escaped, closed the closet door, and was like, that's bedtime. Just went to bed, got up the next morning, put on clean clothes. I was like, I'm going to film this tonight.
So
did he just stay there all night?
Okay, so I think what makes more sense, which we're never really shown, is this guy. So all jokes aside, even though I'm laughing, he has to believe there is some connection to his missing son now. This is the only rational explanation of what this guy is doing. My son went missing in or around this house. I just saw a freaky ass monster. I am gonna figure this goddamn out.
Sure, but
That's
like,
the only thing
Is there
I
not
can
like a
think
La Quinta nearby that he can chill
but-
at
you know?
for the night?
Well,
Like,
Mike, also, none of this makes sense to any of us. This is just me guessing. Through
Yeah.
this. And it's because I watched the whole movie. Like, as this is unfolding, none of this makes sense. Because every question Mike is asking, like, why aren't you out of the house? Why aren't you in a
Legitimate
hotel?
questions.
Like,
You know
yeah,
what?
like, why the hell are you there?
Maybe he did. So think about it. This is 1985, right? There's no fucking way all this shit. No, there's no Amazon. How did he order all of this stuff and it showed up?
that's
Do you-
right.
do you
this
know
is
who
like,
he
There's
is?
there's a time lapse.
this was
here.
weeks later, maybe.
Yeah, you might
This
be
is
right.
Roger Cobb, my friend.
That's true.
Is that his name, Roger Cobb?
He drove
Yeah.
down.
He's Rogering.
It is Roger Cobb. Do you know I am Roger? I am Stephen King's cousin, Roger Cobb.
He
Final
definitely
hat.
drove down to Circuit City and just bought their whole supply of cameras. He
No.
was like-
Well, yeah, yes, yes. As someone who worked at defunct Sears, I would assume, Collin, that if you made a legitimate phone call and was like, "I'm going to spend $100,000," I bet you could get some stuff like
Oh,
the day
you're
of.
getting a
like,
question.
like, you don't have to be Roger Cobb. You were just a man with cash at that point in time. So, well, I mean, but
Fair enough.
so your question is how and why? I totally agree because I'm like, how much money does this guy have? Like, is he that notable of a book salesman? Like, what is going? Like,
Maybe.
Maybe he's getting alimony in the divorce.
I mean,
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
yeah, because she's
he
famous.
should be.
He's famous.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
we make the wasn't his it was his aunt's house, right?
Yeah.
So she's kind of loaded. I would think there's money in the family.
And she was a famous artist,
Yeah.
apparently.
okay, but this guy for 1985, this was probably. I mean, I'm not even joking. This has to be at least $80,000.
So
That's a
yeah.
ton of equipment.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
a lot.
this is like so. Anyone listening to this, if you do not know like the history of like VCRs, nor do you need to. I mean, a lot of the old VCRs they came in two pieces, and it was like this camcorder that hooked to a VCR that could be portable, but then you could make it in dock mode where the VCR would actually accept like just you watching like Star Wars stuff and stuff like that.
And he has 8 of these.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like he has 8, like amongst like light setup and like all this stuff.
A deep sea fishing rod.
Yeah, did he need that many video cameras like stacked right next to each other?
Yeah.
Wouldn't one be
Nope.
sufficient?
You got to have all of them.
Listen,
He's an artist. You got to have different angles. The lighting
I was
might
gonna
not
say,
be right.
you bring a lady back home. Which angle do you want? VCR 1?
Yeah.
VCR 8?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sit on this couch right here. Why are these 14 cameras pointed at me? You'll find out.
Don't worry
I
about it.
feel like we missed a montage of him setting up cameras. Like I'm gonna get every angle.
And we have
no
not
matter
mentioned the other blonde lady who I think he's met by now.
we
The
mentioned-
lady-
Not yet.
Oh no, we haven't met. Yeah, we haven't met Tanya.
There's a
yet.
lady that
that's
lives
your-
across the
we-
street.
We mentioned her.
Smoking hot.
We mentioned her in the fact that you love her, but we have not met her yet. Yeah, you know what Richard Cobb would be freaked out about? My phone. Hey Richard, I could do Roger, I could do everything and more with my phone right now. He would burn me as a witch. He would think I was the house.
Yeah.
Punch your phone and try to find his child.
Damn, and rightfully so. He probably would find his son in my phone. That sounds dirty. I meant his spirit, but that sounds really bad.
That's pretty good. We can add that with some of Mike's clips. Hey,
No,
Mike,
I
do
don't-
you want
I
to see
don't-
that? What
Paul
about
gets his
this?
own Dropbox now.
I don't want to be involved with those clips and the things that people have been writing, Mike.
Yeah.
Voice messages. We've been getting voice messages from Mike.
Yeah. They're all breathy.
Okay, they're like, "Hi, it's Harold. Do you want to come over and have a high life?"
You know what? If Harold showed up with, I think, like a case of High Life and some Chinese food,
Yeah.
yeah. Harold
Well-
can hang with me.
Welcome to the next scene. Harold with a case of High Life and
Yeah.
some Chinese food. And I wrote, "Dope."
Well, so yeah, Corncob is like about to open the closet door again, and Norm is fucking in his house. He's like, "Hey, buddy."
Did anyone think that Norm was like part of the no good nature of things happening? Because
Yes.
he's just always there. And he seems very concerned, like, "I'm your biggest fan." I noted later that this reminds me of Truman Show. When the guy comes over, Lamar, I know you remember.
yeah.
"Hey, Truman, I got a 6-pack. Where are you, buddy?"
6-pack every time.
Yeah,
Like, where is he?
like Harold is just walking into Roger's house Like, not ding dong, come and see me. It's, hey, I'm in your living room. I walked past the 400-foot square foyer to get to you. I am in your living room study, but I got a case of High Life and some Chinese food. So he won me over, but I think most people would be creeped out.
Literally, the only time he was in appropriate distance was when we met him. Every other time he was
when he was
intruding.
in his
right
own
up in
fucking
it.
yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the director's cut, he's under the sheets half the time.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of sheets, get your Rabbit Troop throw pillows and throw blankets. Again, Mike updated some Rabbit Troop Sucks merch, so there's Halloween T-shirts.
Yeah,
and we're really hoping Lamar gets his Rabbit Troop Sucks shower curtain.
You're hard selling me on that shower curtain.
I ordered a shower curtain.
Snap!
Yeah.
I'm gonna. All right.
Well,
Nice.
I am currently wearing
Yeah.
some Rabbit Troop Sucks swag.
He is, yeah.
As we speak.
Jeremy has secret Rabbit Troop Sucks swag. There's a secret batch of T-shirts.
Oh man.
I have my Rabbit Troop Sucks jock strap on right now.
Goo edition.
Oh yeah, we've got some collectors.
Since this has been Halloween too, my daughter's been saying all sorts of things like it's spooky or that's like scary. But no joke, on a couple occasions in the last couple days, the goo. I was like, what are you talking about? So I was like, oh yeah. So, but yeah, we have some Goo Edition secret T-shirts. Write me about it. Ask Mike for his breathy lingo, and maybe you will get gooed on by Mike in shirt format, right in your ear canal.
Yeah. I goo each shirt personally.
All right. That might.
I cannot attest to that. My name is not on that. I do not validate that.
No, your name is. I do it in your name.
Nice.
takes hours.
Days. I don't.
It's art.
Yeah.
You got. There you go. Now you're
I don't feel
speechless.
right about it.
There we
No,
go.
you shouldn't.
Yes.
I've broken Paul.
And much like Cobb's kid, I need a parent.
Well, and so Roger Cobb, I think he confesses to Norm the things he's been seeing over dinner,
Yeah.
over High Lifes and Chinese food.
Yeah.
And Norm's like, what?
You're
crazy.
Well, Norm is concerned. He on his way out, he steals his little black book.
Because a little ninja swipe,
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, and then so this is a weird move, and again, this at first it makes me think he is up to something.
Well, I thought he wanted to bang.
I don't even know what's So he calls Sandy, the ex-wife, and is like, listen, your husband's kind of crazy, and he's been talking about suicide, and I think he needs a friend, and I just called you. And she's like, well, I have a shoot, and I'm doing stuff, but I'll call him tomorrow. Here's my private line. And I was like, this is super weird. And then I just did what I use, Jennifer Lawrence as an example. Can you imagine you have to call up Jennifer Lawrence, hey, I'm friends with your friend. You might need to hang out. Who is this? Here's my spare number. Okay, I'll call you. Super weird. So she then does come over, sort of, the next day. She shows up, and Cobb thinks she's a monster and shoots her with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Well, she turns into a monster.
She does turn into a monster.
Yeah, to be fair, she does turn into a monster.
Well,
so.
he also gets into a battle with his swordfish.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's not.
It's
super
a marlin.
A marlin, yeah. That's
Yeah.
right.
Was it before or after he shot his wife?
I think it was before.
I think it was before.
It was during it.
Because I think he was so he shoots this fucking swordfish marlin that's mounted over his fireplace that's squirming around like a billy bass.
And wait, before that, there's also floating garden equipment trying to get him.
Oh yeah, he goes out to the barn to get the shotgun, and he gets attacked by an axe that's just flying around.
Yeah, and other gardening shears and stuff like that. And then the fish tries to attack him, and he opens a door, and the gardening equipment is there, and he ducks, and it gets the fish.
So yeah, he's currently locked the floating garden equipment inside of a room in the house, and that is where it is right now.
Yeah.
Because that'll come into play later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shoots the fish and throws a blanket over its
That's
head.
right.
And that's when his ex-wife shows up.
And you can't take this fish off the wall.
I mean,
No.
all
the
that you
fish
can do is
stays,
throw.
yeah.
I think,
Just throw a
It's really
blanket.
big.
I think based on our spot on description, this is just based on a true story. I mean, when was it?
I'm hearing he shot the fish. He put a blanket over its head. There's flying garden equipment.
When we watched it, Mike highlighted like that's how you put a bird to sleep. You got to put a
That's
cover.
true.
It's like, so when he, so he like shot the fish and it was still moving around. He just kind of gave up on trying to off it.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's he going to do?
Yeah.
Like the sound the fish made, and he shot it like, ah! You ever hear a fish
was
scream?
so
You hear
sad.
it in this movie.
And then he, as Lamar kindly noted, Harry Potter's Sandy's corpse by putting it in a little cubby under the staircase. And then the cops show up, and one of the cops is Deep Throat number 2 from the X-Files, also in Supernatural, also the captain in the original 21 Jump Street, and he looks young as hell.
This is my favorite scene of the movie.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Because, like, he has just finished dragging this body into the house. He goes back outside. Cop cars are pulling up. They can see everything he's doing.
Oh, he's just, polishing
And,
his shotgun.
well, like, he stops. He's like, oh, shit, it's the cops. And he sits down and pretends to polish his shotgun while he's whistling. Again, the cops are out of the car and looking at him while all of this is happening.
My favorite line from the entire movie comes up in the next moment, where the cop I just noted, I do not know the actor's name, he is looking at the very bizarre artwork upon the wall, and Cobb,
Well, and Norm, the first line that you loved from the cop, Norm comes over and he's like, "Hey, what's going on, guys?" The cop's like, "Shut the fuck up and get out of here."
yeah, get out of here.
That was the best part. That was the best line in the movie.
And then the cop is looking at this weird bizarre artwork, very kind of grotesque in weird ways. And Cobb goes, "My aunt was an artist," and he just goes, "I guess so."
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, yes.
Another line. Who are you, Harold? Yeah, beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when Norm showed up. Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, you get out of here.
I wonder
And
what
that
I could buy
painting,
that artwork.
that painting does come up a little later. It's an important part of a plot, something or rather.
It is,
yada
yeah.
yada. I don't know. Whatever.
The yada yada.
Well, the
Bad way.
cops eventually leave, and quickly Cobb goes to check. Oh no, the cubby and my ex-wife's dead body, and that's gone. And
And so is the shotgun.
yeah, and now there's a demon in a purple dress running around doing weird stuff.
With a shotgun.
And you've got to. There's no way to describe this demon-looking thing. You have to watch this movie in order to understand what
You're
we're
right.
seeing.
You're right.
Because it is grotesque.
I don't know why you couldn't just say beauty in a purple dress.
Trailer park body.
Yeah.
And that's what's offed by a bunch of garden shears. That's when he opens the door. There's like knock knock. He ducks. A bunch of garden shears inadvertently go into there into this demon and cuts off its head.
And he, I think, cuts it into like many pieces and buries it in his backyard.
As you do.
Yeah.
As you do.
And this is where he meets the other hussy who's
So-
just dicking around in his pool.
Well,
Wait.
before we get there.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay.
So these the garden equipment has been
Yeah,
vindictive
it's just been floating in that room.
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden it just cuts open a ghost and it's good to go.
That's all. He just wanted blood.
Yeah,
It
we
wants
just needed to.
Not real blood.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. I just wanted to address that real quick.
We needed some scares before we see this this hot piece of ass in the pool.
So,
nice if we got one.
as I noted, Mary Stavin in 2 James Bond films is Tanya. And Tanya, who is in a pretty scantily clad dress, rolls up or comes out of the pool and is like, "Hey, what's going on? You planting trees?" And he's like, "Yeah." And the demon's still moving
I
around.
got a
and
tree I'd like to plant. No.
said Jeremy's mental state of being. And she's like, "Hi, I'm Tanya. Sometimes I just go swimming in your aunt's pool." And Cobb's like, "That's cool."
I would definitely be cool with that.
And the demon tries to come back alive, and he knocks it around a little bit, and that's it. Really, the end of that scene. And I just wrote, life is exhausting and bad for Cobb. That's
Yeah.
really my side notes.
Well, the hand that was trying to escape from its grave got dug up by
A dog at night,
a
yeah.
dog at night and runs off.
Yeah, later at night, that's what happens. So luckily, Tanya's there, and Tanya, this is so bizarre in this
Yeah.
film. So Tanya rolls up, and you think it's like, hey, kind of a little booty call. Like, I noticed you. And she's like, hey, remember you said you would do anything for me? He's like, no. She's like, well, I'm going to go out, and I'm going to hang out on a date. Bye. Here's my kid, and then here's like 5 bags of toys that somehow I already have in your house. And I'm giving to you. Bye. Take it easy. And now he's a babysitter.
I loved this setup, or I loved like this premise, and I wish there was more setup to it. I thought this was hilarious.
Like when he's like eventually babysitting the kid.
Yeah, like so
Sure.
they kind of set up like like you're obviously hot. Like I think that you think that I'm attractive. We should totally hang out sometime. And then she pawns off her child on it. Great setup.
Yeah, brilliant movie.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, it's weird though.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, everything that happens with this kid. There's at one point in time demon attacks. Oh no! Remember when the kid is in the house? Cobb takes him to the bathroom really quick because there's a demon hand on him.
Yeah.
So he's like, and then he flushes the demon hand down the toilet, and then the mom's like, "Hey, take it easy. You're gonna watch my kid," and that's how that goes.
The mother is like standing in the hallway, and he's in the bathroom with this child he just met 30 seconds ago, like struggling to get a demon hand off of this kid. And the mom's like, "Oh, those just normal noises coming from the bathroom with my child and a strange man."
Mike,
It's all fine.
Mike, if he just said, "I'm helping your son flush the demon hand," she would have understood.
I feel like he eats a lot. Yeah. I get it.
Yikes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, some more shenanigans happen. Like a couple weird demons show up and try to drag the kid up a chimney or
The
something.
chimney gnomes.
Yeah.
But Harold's back.
Gnomes.
This is when I wrote that all of this really seems like 2 films to me. That this movie now is kind of slightly derailed from a horror movie, and this is more where we get a little bit of comedy.
Yeah.
Because the demons are a little slapsticky.
They are slapsticky. Can I complain about something again?
Please.
Of course.
Because I mentioned this earlier. So, yeah, these 2 slapsticky demons try to drag this kid up a chimney. He saves the kid, pulls him down out of the chimney. And again, like moments later, he doesn't leave the house. He doesn't like, we got to get out of here. No, he's like, it's bath time. Those demons probably not coming back. They're,
They've learned their lesson.
yeah,
They're
they're done with this. Let's just hop in the bath.
There
Yeah,
he is
so, yeah.
bathing a
Yeah.
kid.
Which is also super weird. Like he's had this kid for an hour.
Yeah.
I'm not giving that fucking kid a bath.
no, not after an hour.
How long
Yeah.
is his mother gone for?
Well,
he can take a
That's
bath
true.
later.
Even though the monsters did drag him up a chimney, but
Yeah,
give him
he's
to the
sitting-
mom.
Yeah,
She can
exactly.
watch
This
that.
is someone else's
A
problem.
little soot builds character.
Yeah.
Really bizarre.
Yeah, well, Harold, George Wendt is back immediately, and I don't even know the D part. Like, the mom now just, like, takes the kid, and she's gone.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, she like came pick the kid up and they're done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
I
done
mean,
for the
we never see them again in the film, which is...
She said he did a satisfactory job as she took the kid and left.
Yeah.
But everything seemed fine.
Harold's back just like the Truman Show. He's got a 6-pack, and he's like, I'm here. And this is another part that I like. Cobb's like, remember all the things that I was saying about the ghosts, the demons, the hauntings? Here's the thing. It was just a giant raccoon.
a giant raccoon.
Yeah, the entire time, giant raccoon. Yeah, a big raccoon. Mm-hmm. That's all you need to know.
You can make a hell of a hat out of that thing.
Don't go in there. They're not gonna like you with that kind of hat.
No.
This kind of just made me think that this guy has never made a good decision in his whole life.
Well, his plan is bananas.
It's stupid as fuck.
His plan is, he's like, hey, George Wendt, I'm going to open this door, and this big raccoon's going to come out, and you're going to shoot it with this harpoon gun that I have tied to a fishing pole, and you're going to reel that motherfucker right in. And George is like, yeah,
I'm down with this.
this sounds great. And then he opens the door, and it's that horrifying ghoul alien from earlier.
You know what George Wendt doesn't do?
This.
Puss out.
He's a ride or die homie.
Yeah. And he didn't want to ride. You could see it in his face.
No.
This is the best acting in this movie, I think, for sure.
Absolutely.
He didn't want to kill this raccoon.
I was
No.
unaware of what his real intentions were. And Paul, you said it, that the creepiness vibe right off the bat with Norm. He just happened to have the author's book on him when he met him. Just the creepiness vibe when he met him. I figured like this is the point where shit's gonna happen, or Norm's just gonna be a normal dude, and it turns out he was just a normal dude.
Norm was Norm.
He was just a normal dude.
This whole time.
He wasn't creepy. He was just a guy who wanted to hang out. And
Yeah.
He just
fucking
wanted to
Roger
drink beer and
condom
watch
into
the
this
game.
Yeah, Roger condom into this weird ass plot, and they open the door and he shoots the fuck.
Well, yeah, he shoots the raccoon for sure, but he doesn't reel it in fast enough.
Poor Norm.
He forgot that he doesn't know how to fish.
Yeah, well, fishing's hard.
It is.
Yeah.
Jeremy, don't you fish?
Sometimes. And yeah, they have the end of this line connected to like an ocean like fishing reel, like
Yeah.
for like the marlin.
Yeah, that's what they caught that marlin with, probably.
But yeah, they don't reel it in time, and I think like the line comes out of the fishing reel.
Yeah, and this monster drags Corncob to Vietnam, apparently.
Back in Nam.
So his door was a portal to his dreams or his nightmares or something.
I think
or
so.
What he was
Yeah,
writing.
I guess.
Maybe. I mean, some of this is kind of told to us throughout. Cobb, yeah. I don't...
That's what I'm.
Yeah,
picturing.
nobody-
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
He leaves, but then he goes back to the bathroom and he investigates the mirror. And he's like, this is a black portal to nothingness.
He investigates the mirror because he saw it in the picture that
Yes.
his aunt painted.
Okay. Oh, I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, and that's the
Okay.
reason why the painting was so
Yeah.
important. There was a kid's face in the painting.
I think-
There was a towel over it for this entire movie that he lifted at
oh
this
shit!
moment.
Are you?
He lifted a towel and it revealed the mirror in his
Oh
kid's
yeah, that's
mirror.
right. Holy shit! Wow.
You guys are talking about this like this is cheap hotel art when these are beautiful
Well,
facets that should be in any museum just because they're Dali ripoffs that children drew. And Collin's totally right. It was like, oh man, this towel that was draped over the left corner of this thing. If I lift it, oh my god, what's this mirror? And then he
That's
goes
my
and
son.
Yeah, my son's in a mirror.
So, the aunt presumably painted this.
Yes.
And then killed herself.
Yeah.
yeah. So does that?
Yeah,
This
she's like,
chick sucks. Well,
I told you.
she could
Aunt-
have been like,
Aunt-
hey, nephew Cobb.
I told you Aunt Elizabeth is the true villain of this film.
Like, I painted this picture of your son in a mirror because I keep seeing. Like, I don't know, hook a brother up.
now
help him.
Mike, remember, she straight up comes to him in the movie and was like, he tricked me. I never thought he could trick me. Like, you knew a demon lived in the house. Now this kid's gone. You're painting his face and then covering it with a towel, for Christ's sake. And then, yeah, she knew the whole time. Aunt Elizabeth knew. She's the villain.
God damn it.
I'm not sure that the kid's picture appeared in the window the first time they showed the picture. I think
Colin's
it just
totally
came
right
up.
that it was
Okay.
It
Colin's
was.
totally right. It was covered with a towel.
Yes.
What a bitch.
I can't remember if the
things
kid
covered with
was.
towels.
Yeah,
Fishes, paintings.
but god damn it.
Yeah, so there's kind of a fun scene. He looks out the window to make sure, like, this portal can't, go outside, and he doesn't. So he puts his arm out there, and he's like, there's totally a portal that goes to some weird thing. And then a monster tail comes out, and he fights the monster, and he fights him with a straight razor.
Yeah. But
And then-
it works.
This is where it gets good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my mind started drifting off, and someone, I think at one point in time, I think Jeremy, you asked, is that Eric Bana?
Yeah.
And I want you to know that was an hour previous in the movie, and then I just wrote side note, Eric Bana Cabana. And I wrote it sells itself.
Spoiler alert: it was not Eric.
no.
Well,
It could be a bandana. You could
well,
have an Eric.
oh my
bandana.
god, Eric Bana bandana. You get
And
one
a
free
cabana-
when you buy a cabana.
A cabana bandana.
Rabbit
did it.
Troop Sucks TM.
You did it.
Eric Bana, you're on top of this. You're always the Hulk we wanted.
He could have a line of men's underwear called Eric Bana's Banana Cabana.
Eric Bana's banana cabana bandana.
Wow. when you're hulking out, That's what you need.
That's all that's left once he rips out of his pants.
Then I have notes that go into Cobb and a shotgun and a harpoon gun ropes down through the portal. I don't know really where he got this rope. It seems like he's coming down through some string. He's fighting off some bat demons pretty successfully.
Which immediately takes his harpoon gun. Like, it just takes it from him and is like, this is my harpoon gun now.
This reminds me, this looked like a fun video game. Like, this is like a scene
They
in
were
some
like
random
Doom
game.
monsters flying around.
Yeah, I like that.
It was cool.
And you just got the harpoon gun.
Yeah.
Now it's taken away.
And they shoot the rope with it.
They do.
Yeah, well, they're not dumb demons.
And he falls into Vietnam again.
Yeah.
Because everywhere he goes is Vietnam.
No, he falls into water.
Yes.
In Vietnam.
In Vietnam.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so he falls in water, and lucky for him, he goes off the beaten path really quickly and finds his son in a bamboo cage.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the crazy shit. His son is alive, and this isn't a dream. He's just been in... This is why I asked, how long has his son been missing? Because a divorce is coming from this. He's been living in this house. This kid's been living in a bamboo cage for, I'm honestly assuming, for at least half a year.
But he has not aged.
So
Now he's good.
okay, so this movie's 1985. The Vietnam War ended in 1975.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
sure.
So anywhere between.
I mean, he had to have that kid, like, right after Vietnam.
Yeah, the
Like,
kid
we gotta
looks
we gotta
10.
get you pregnant.
Yeah. So yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah. Who knows, man?
All right.
Yeah. Well, now we have a demon soldier who's back. It's Ben. It's Ben, who is Richard Moll from Night Court.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also a weird moment. He's like, so this is when he notes, he's like, I was shot and you should have just killed me in the jungles. He's like, I went to get help. He's like, well, they found me and tortured me. And he's like, well, that sucks. And Richard Moll's like, well,
I'm sorry.
you could kill me now. And he goes, no, and slams the door. I don't know what to say about that.
No take backsies.
Yeah.
That was a twist for me.
This is the worst demon ever. Just comes back from the dead like, you should have did it and just, I don't know.
I love this demon though. This whole get up is a lot of fun for me. I don't know if it's Richard Moll in the
it is
actual
not.
in the suit.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay, he's clearly voicing still.
Yeah,
but the
right.
dude in the suit and the Y-ass he is hulking big.
Yeah, he's bigger.
Yeah, he's like 7 feet tall, and then plus the costume, which is kind of big. But yeah, he's running around in this like demon skeleton soldier outfit. This is where we got Collin. Collin's back in for House, 1985.
I was back in as soon as he jumped through the mirror.
It's the mirror jumping gets you every time.
Yeah, the fantasy stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of running around. At one point in time, Cobb rips his arm off and then gives it back to him.
And tries to beat him with his own arm that he's ripped off.
Then he just reattaches it. So like that's not effective.
Yeah.
And then he, I don't know, keeps running from him.
Yeah, they just kind of run around the house like Scooby-Doo style, basically.
And at one point in time, Cobb opens the back door to the house, and it's a seaside cliff that just goes like right to the sea. And so he stumbles out the door, and he's hanging by this cliff.
And this was an homage to Cliff Clavin from Cheers.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Cobb is just hanging there, and the skeleton Ben, the Skeleben, is just stepping on his foot, like, your time's up, sucker, which you keep saying to everyone or something along those lines. And so Cobb's last move is he takes off his belt and lassos it around the hand of the skeleton creature, pulls him off, and he falls down the cliff and dies. And then miraculously, Cobb pulls himself up with his mighty pull-up onto a hardwood floor. It looked painful just watching that. I was like, I don't have that kind of strength.
No.
Yeah. This took me out of where I was previously.
Yes. So this is
They
crazy.
had you.
So
This is a roller coaster ride of emotions for Collin.
Yeah.
Well, I don't blame Collin because he's like, all right, I'm done. I killed this guy. He's like, oh my God, I forgot about my son, who I may not have had for half a year or longer. I forgot I just found him. He's in the other room. He walks in the other room. You know who's there? Skeletor. Like, what the hell? And he's like, I'm not afraid of you anymore.
Yeah, Skeletor tries to like cut his hand off with a machete, but it doesn't work because he's like, gotcha, bitch.
Yeah,
You're an illusion.
Yeah, there's no effect. Yeah, now
Yeah.
Cobb is the illusion. So machete has no effect. So Cobb, Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warrior takes a grenade off of the Skeletor, shoves it into his chest, and he's like, "So long, sucker." Uses his own grenade and his tagline.
Oh, it took his
against him.
catchphrase. Oh.
Oh man! And then Skeletor explodes, and now the house is on fire.
Right.
As the same time, real life Sandy pulls up in a cab. It doesn't really know what's happening. Norm happened to just be asleep. Harold, that is, asleep next door. But you know what? The family's back. Everyone embraces. Freeze frame. And then a cover of "You're No Good" by Linda Ronstadt plays, and this movie is over, friends.
Yeah, it was a short one.
This family is back. No questions about where that kid came from or how long he's been gone.
Nope.
No questions about Sandy's divorce or her missing son. Everything's great. So before we jump into the end of House, as always, reach out to us, Rabbit Troop Sucks, at rabbittroopsuckspodcast@gmail.com. Go to our website proper, rabbittroopsucks.com. See fun photos. Read fun facts, see fun things, request fun movies. Liz from the museum, you wrote us recently from Minicon. Thank you so much. Yeah, those Peter Jackson movies. I think I accidentally replied with what did I say? Not Peter Jackson. It was Percy Jackson. Sorry.
We made that mistake before.
I meant Peter Jackson, but yeah, thanks for writing us. We're definitely going to check out some of those Peter Jackson films. So be like Liz and write us. But yeah, rabbittroopsucks.com. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, things like that. So, Jeremy.
Yes.
What are you thinking about House, 1985?
So I know that I like this movie as a young kid. Coming back to it and rewatching it again, it's not a good movie. I mean, like, there's nothing that's explained in this movie. Why is this house haunted? Why
is Tanya just...
Yeah, why does anything take place in this movie? It's really just like a series of like kind of comedic horror events that take place with a catalyst starting it, and then it just goes through the motions. Nothing's explained. But it is fun to like watch with a group of friends and talk about. There are some pretty hilarious scenes that take place throughout this movie. But it's not a good movie.
Would you come back for Tanya and Sandy?
Always.
Nice.
Yeah, like Tanya, like a movie with Tanya and Sandy and me. Yeah, I would watch that over and over.
That's where Norm explains all the neatly trimmed hedges to you.
Exactly. Norm is trimming their hedges.
Yeah.
I want to know, so there is a sequel to this film. Can someone look up the date of the sequel of House 2 while I'm saying this?
Yeah, I'm on it.
And the reason I'm saying this is I saw the sequel in the theater with my brother. I think my mom was there, but it was a PG-13 sequel, and I never saw the original.
87.
87, okay. So in 87, I saw this film, and my mom was like, yeah, I'll take you. It's PG-13. And it is a straight-up comedy. It's like this weird comedy. And I don't even... I've seen it at some point. But yeah, it is a weird comedy. And then I eventually saw this movie, and we rented it, and we're like, what the hell? Like, we thought it would also be just like a direct comedy. Very, very different. The last time I saw this movie, I told you guys, I was like, I remember the date I last saw this. So sort of. And I said it involved Mike. So Mike was living with a girlfriend and had to drive her back to, where are we going, Maine?
Yeah.
And
that sucked.
And the car broke down. And Mike and I had some plans, but Mike's like, I am now going to spend 4th of July here, like an impromptu in Maine. And I was like, oh. So just by myself, I watched House. That was the last time I have seen this movie. This movie, I overall have fun. All of those flashbacks that he's trying to put into a book are awful. Even the things that are not explained, as Jeremy noted, it's fun watching with friends, totally. Mike and I have talked about this a lot. Like lately, we've been watching movies separately, but sometimes, a lot of the times, we've been watching it together. This movie is a definitely watch together type of film.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a lot more fun. I'm glad we watched this and immediately went into recording. I overall like this movie. This movie definitely needs to trim the fat, and it's all of that stuff. And again, yeah, you could tighten it up to holy hell by explaining things. That would probably help. But even if it wasn't, I would still have fun. But those flashbacks and those novel sequences just are epically long and go nowhere. It could easily be explained in like a minute. It's crazy. But yeah, I would say have fun for Halloween. Watch House.
Yeah, they could have like really done something with the Vietnam scenes, like made the monsters relate to like the soldiers they were fighting in Vietnam and maybe like the horrors they experienced there. But they did none of that.
No.
Like the Vietnam scene was it was completely useless other than introducing the Richard Moll character.
Right.
Yeah.
Which could have been talked about or explored further, more developed, elaborated on, any of those things. But yeah, I totally agree.
So, looking up House 2, none of the same actors are in it. But you know who is in it? They don't have George Wendt, but they got John Ratzenberger.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a bold move.
Yeah.
That is a bold
And
move.
Bill Maher is in it for some reason.
That's
He's
I don't
probably
know.
like on TV or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Oh yeah. So Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree with everyone. This movie is not a good movie, but I had a blast watching it. But Paul's absolutely right. If I had to watch this by myself in my house, you would have gotten a much grumpier Mike tonight. But because we all watched it together and we were like having drinks and kind of clowning on it, it made it fun. Yeah, the flashback scenes are way too long and totally suck. But the movie is so fucking bonkers. I had a blast watching it. I mean, it's not like in the rotation for me, but I enjoy it. It was fun. It sucked, but it was fun.
What are you thinking, Lamar?
I keep it simple. You guys pretty much said it all. Watch it with friends. Don't watch it alone. You'll hate yourself. You won't hate yourself that much. It's fine alone if you're inebriated. I'm glad I watched it with you guys. I had fun watching it on my own now. I can't reiterate that these Vietnam scenes were just way too damn long. They just, my God. I understand what they're trying to do, set up that story, but I just wrote down, holy shit, I have no comments except this movie should not have been made. I'm sorry. Those are my comments. I'm going to swing it over to Collin.
Yeah, I'm actually most curious about Colin's final synopsis of this film.
I mean, that's basically it. I think the only redeeming parts of this were the very, very end, where they finally brought in the Vietnam, the horrors of Vietnam from the past, and they brought in like the the fantasy element of the kid missing and going into this like extraplanar world to like bring him back, which was almost interesting.
Very poltergeist.
Yeah. In the very end, the lab, because the Labyrinth came out in like 1987, right? Where they're just like, I'm just not afraid anymore, which is the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
It was terrible up until the last 10 minutes, where it actually did interesting stuff.
It happens real quick at
and
the
then
end.
ended. So this movie is stupid, it's terrible, but the last couple minutes had a bunch of really interesting things all bunched up together that if they had done a lot of the stuff earlier in the movie could have made it almost redeemable.
Was it because everything finally made sense at the end?
Well,
and it's like,
no.
Or is it just because
No.
Okay.
because they actually touched on interesting elements of the movie. Because it's like, it's supposed to be like a horror movie. It fails at a horror movie. It fails at a comedy. But it could almost have done. It was so close to doing both. I mean, not that close. It was fairly close to doing both if they had taken a bunch of the elements they added at the end and kind of had tried to do them earlier.
Okay.
Collin, would you be in for House 2?
Yeah.
I love it. Yes, you got him. The house always
It
wins.
sounded so defeated, though.
Yeah.
The
Like
house
I don't want to, but I'm
Always,
interested.
Always wins.
Paul, I think that's the only way people will see House 2 is like the way you saw it. You see it first before House 1 and get tricked into it.
Accidentally.
That's also how I saw the movie Young Guns. I saw Young Guns 2 before I
yeah.
saw Young Guns 1.
Have you seen House
Interesting.
3? There's a third one.
I'm
What?
sorry, what the hell's
what?
There is for sure a third one.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
I'm looking this up right now. Someone talk.
Yeah, we need to get to the bottom of House 3.
Wow.
I will lead us to next episode is our very extra episode of a Halloween special. So Jeremy will be here for a Halloween special. There will be trivia. There will be 1995 Tales from the Crypt Demon Night. And we're going to have some fun. I like this movie. And I think what's fitting is, if I am not mistaken, if anyone thinks back to in life, when did Halloween change for me? When did it go from kid to adult or whatever? Jeremy, I am 90, probably 8% positive that the last time I ever went trick-or-treating, it was with Jeremy. So
Really?
yeah, with any time. Because there was one time, Jeremy, and maybe there's photos that exist somewhere. I remember it was like no one fully dressed up. I think the last costume I had as like a kid was like I basically wore all black, and I remember what I had. I had a glow-in-the-dark Jason mask and like a fake machete, and that was it. And it wasn't like I don't have a memory of us like trick-or-treating for like hours. It was like more of an excuse to be like, we could do stuff, and then I think it was like we trick-or-treated for like 40 minutes and then like watched movies at someone's house. But like I think that was the last time. And I feel pretty confident Jeremy was there. And everyone's like, yeah, cool, we got some candy, let's watch like TV stuff. And it was at a point in time where parents were like, oh shit, are they gonna do stuff? And we're like, nah, we're just gonna eat this candy and go watch movies. People were like, oh shit, that's what I'm talking about. If I didn't note this on the last Halloween special, all of you should watch movies. I always say this as I think it was kind of like it started as a bummer that, I was going to college and it was kind of hard to go to like Halloween parties or stay out late for me. I guess if it was, I was trying to be dutiful and I was working like multiple jobs. But I remember one year, one of my favorite Halloweens was, some of our friends were like, we're going to do some stuff. And it sounded kind of lame. Like I didn't really want to do it. And it was also snowy cold. Like it snowed. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, Lamar, are you in for anything? And Lamar was like, hell no. Like it was like it was like very clear. Like
Sounds like me.
Yeah, not a chance in hell. And I was like, yeah, like I kind of felt it too. And Lamar and I were neighbors at this point. And I was like, this sucks. I was like, I want to do something. And I was like, what if we like watched a movie and got a pizza? And Lamar was like, I'd do that. And it was literally one of my favorite Halloweens. Lamar and I think it was just like Domino's Pizza, and we watched Jason in Space.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And it was just like two dudes like hanging out, and that was the end. And then like, and when I talked to anyone the next day, it was like, how was Halloween? It was like, it was 5 degrees. It sucked. And I was like, hell yeah. I was like, I ate that pizza. I was like, just not to do anything Halloween-esque on Halloween, I think would like ultimately depress me if I didn't watch a show or a movie. Just like something. I would be sad. But yeah, that was awesome. It was just like an easygoing thing.
So not only is there a third one, there's a fourth one.
What the hell?
Nice.
So-
A fifth
Wow.
one planned in 2024.
Well, of course.
So
my
the
God.
third one, here's the plot.
Yes.
Detective McCarthy finally catches Meat Cleaver Max,
Of course.
a serial killer who promises revenge during his execution. Blah blah blah. Starring Lance Henriksen and Brian James, who we know.
Of course.
The synopsis for the fourth one is kind of great. They bring back Corn Cobb.
Oh my God.
No.
Yeah, same actor and everything.
Oh, my
Really?
goodness.
Yeah, so Roger Cobb is killed in a car accident. So presumably he's in it for like a minute or two. His family must move into the house that has haunted him for several years. Soon the family begins to experience scary and unexplained phenomena.
Maybe he's back as a ghost.
Why do people keep going back to this
I know.
goddamn house?
Why aren't they demolishing this house?
Right.
Goddamn. What year is that?
This is 1992.
Throw some
wow.
fucking salt down.
Wow.
So after, so 20, 30 years later, they're making a sequel.
Yeah. And the third one, apparently it was meant to be like a reboot with a new villain. And it wasn't. It was only called House 3 in non-US
I
dollars.
I bet all of us by the end of Jeremy's trip could assemble a Netflix miniseries of House and just get picked up. So anyone from Netflix, if you don't think we could do it with cash being offered, we could do it. We could write the House miniseries that you want. Probably within a month. So Halloween 2024.
What kind of cash are you looking at here?
I'm looking at serious cash, not some like, hey, I'm gonna pay you guys a couple $100 each. No, you're gonna pay us a lot more, and I want to be part of the panel who is going to be making sure the proper actors are cast for this, not some like nonsense.
Whoa. I would do it for much less than that.
What? No, Collin, no.
Oh, no.
No, Collin.
Don't cheapen Rabbit
Yeah,
Troop Sucks
come
like
on.
that.
This is a premium product.
Right. This is Netflix House.
We have fucking shower curtains.
Yeah.
There is
we have
no
throw
other
blanket.
podcast that has shower curtains. I have not researched that, but it's almost a guarantee.
Have you seen any shower curtains with a podcast logo on them in anybody's house?
Exactly.
No.
No.
All right.
You could be the first.
That ends that right there.
You could just wear a shower curtain on
There
like
you go.
public transit. Just and it could be a Rabbit Troop Sucks one.
That's the best advertising.
We'd appreciate that.
You guys can stick to your morals. You can join me on, Bunny Group Blows, and we'll be on our podcast doing stuff for way cheaper.
Bunny Group Blows sounds like a different kind of movie.
I don't know if you want your name associated with that.
I want to review the movies that podcast.
It's they do it with sounds with no description. It's more just mouth sounds. Jeremy, to sign us off before we go, how's your first night of Denver, Colorado going?
Oh, I love Denver. Yeah. Well, how could you not love Denver? I mean, it's a beautiful city right at the foothill of the Rocky Mountains. I mean, that's all you could ever ask for. Mm-hmm. And it's like 55 degrees right now. It's beautiful. It's dropping down to like 40s at night.
That's great.
It's my favorite weather.
Yeah. I love this weather. This weather forever. Fall forever.
Real boogeyman weather.
Well, as always, and sooner rather than later, we'll be back at you with a Halloween special. As always, Rabbit Troop Sucks.
Bunny Troop
Bunny Troop Blows.
2024!